Seeking Jesus and searching the scriptures will bring us face to face with the Word. Let's join Lee Eddy on today's search.
Greetings. I never know what to say about that. I mean, just say hello. It's always the same. But hi, welcome. We're going to have a good time today. We are really looking forward to going further and further into the blessing. Um, we covered some very good territory last week, and this week we're taking it to another height. So, let's just get started, shall we? We've been talking about the power of the tongue, learning how to use the blessing. And so the scripture that we've been launching off from is in Deuteronomy 30:14 through 20. And it says this: the word is very near you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it. Wow. The word is very near you. It's in your mouth. And Paul quoted this, and we studied that. This is really good. Then it goes on to say, behold, Moses says, I have set before you today life and good, and death and evil. That I am commanding you today to love Jehovah your God, to walk in his ways, to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments. And you shall live and multiply, and Jehovah your God shall bless you in the land where you're going in to possess it. Now, we went over this last time. It's fascinating. Moses set before them life and good, and death and evil. Well, what we have found is that that's the default setting. I mean, this is what's going on. He's said before, God has given us life and good, but since the fall of man, death and evil has been our default. That's what we've been doing, is the death and evil. But he says to do the love the Lord your God and to go into the land and be blessed, you have to choose the life and good. Now, that's what we had covered before. We're going to go on a little bit here. So watch this. It goes on and says, but if you turn away your heart and do not listen and are drawn on, even you will bow down to other gods and serve them. I've declared to you today that you shall certainly perish. You shall not prolong your days in the land to which you are crossing the Jordan to go in there to possess it. Wow. Pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. He says, I'm giving you all this stuff, but if you turn away your heart, if you turn away so that your desires and everything you're having that functions inside you is turned away to another God. Instead of having your heart on Jehovah, on who he is and what he has done, you turn your heart away and follow into idolatry, you'll certainly perish. Why? Because it's sin and death. Where there's sin, there's death. That the law of sin and death is with us all along through this. Still in us today. There's a law of sin and death. Where sin shows up, death shows up. And he's sitting there saying, when you turn away your heart, well, that's sin. That's idolatry. That's worshiping something else. He says, you do that and you'll perish. You'll die. You are walking into death, walking into all that damage. You're walking into a spirit realm of darkness and death and destruction. You do it to yourself. It isn't me doing it. I'm telling you, you come to me and have life and good, and you will not die. You will have all the blessings. I mean, he just goes on and on. The issue is your heart. What's your heart want? What's your heart doing? Are you focusing on selfishness? Are you focusing on, nobody listens to me? It's all bad. I got this problem. You're focusing on yourself. That's self worship. Well, you're doing the same thing. You're worshiping another God. You're not taking things to Jesus. You're not taking things to the Lord and having him deal with things. Even Christians, I'm him talking to Christians, can worship themselves and cause all sorts of damage. It's the issue is your heart. You got to watch what you're doing with your heart. The issue was their heart. The lack of relationship with him personally was what's going to bring the damage. Now, we're going to go on to the next portion of this passage. Watch this. He says, I call heaven and earth as witness against you today that I have set before you life and death. Then he changes the list, the blessing and the curse. The blessing and the curse. Now, he says, I call heaven and earth as a witness before you. He's talking about the spirit realm, heaven, and the physical realm, earth. You can look at both of them, either one of them, and it will witness to the fact that this is what is happening around you. You have life and death, good and evil. Okay. Now, he does change the list here. And that's what makes this really, really crazy. Okay. The list now goes, instead of life and good, good's not in there, death and evil, evil's not in there. He talks about the blessing and the curse. Now, this is what's absolutely fascinating about this. Absolutely fascinating is that both the blessing and the curse are spoken. We have life and good and the blessing. You speak the blessing, you're speaking life and good. We have death and evil and the cursing. You speak cursing, you're choosing death and evil. When you choose death and evil, you will speak cursing. It's part of the package, it goes with it. So, what we are looking at today is the major function of all this power. It's out of your own mouth. You choose today life and good. The way you get that is by speaking the blessing. If you do not, then death, evil, and cursing will automatically be your lot. And you will cause damage, death, nastiness, junk, crud, bad news all over the place. It's all about how you speak. You've got to speak the blessing. You've got to know the blessing that's on you. You've got to know how these things are working. So the blessing is what's so important. Now, have you ever listened to how you talk? Have you ever listened to things? How much of the things you say are negative? Well, that's not good. I have this problem at work. My boss is an idiot. My yeah, 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 yeah. Well, that's cursing. That's not blessing. That's not using the power of God to speak life into the things around you. What are you doing? You're speaking death into the things around you. Well, I'm sorry, but if you become the channel of death because you're speaking the curse, then you get the death with you. You can't say it goes on them and it doesn't affect you. You start speaking all this cursing and it damages you. You walk in that death. You walk in the frequencies of darkness and the negative spiritual realm when you start cursing. Knowing the power of the blessing is what's going to keep us in life, keep us in good, keep us in all these wonderful things. Now, it goes on to say this, and this is what's kind of fascinating. Watch this. He says, I call heaven and earth as witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. Therefore, choose life that you may live, you and your seed, to love Jehovah your God, to listen to his voice, to cleave to him, for he is your life and the length of your days, so you may live in the land which Jehovah has sworn to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to give it to them. He says, now, I set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. Therefore, choose life that you may live. Now, what is fascinating is what he did not say. He did say, I set before you life and death and blessing and cursing. Now choose between life and death. He didn't say that. He said, now choose life. He said that because death is automatic. Death is the default setting. Death is what we have in our life of death and destruction. Our old man is death personified. We have all the death. He says, but you can choose life. You have to choose life. You have to actually want it. You have to see the difference and choose life. That's what you have to do. It's a choice. It's always a choice. Sin is always a choice. You don't have to sin. You don't have to. Sin is always a choice. Always. Now, we have now set this up, haven't we? You have a choice. Life, good, blessing, death, evil, cursing. I think we have a lot to learn here because we do a lot of cursing. And we're going to go over this cursing thing and talk about this and how much our lives are damaged because of what we speak out of our own mouths in cursing. And I hope this is making sense to you. I hope you're getting this. This is a very, very beautiful, beautiful thing. And we're going to be explaining it more and more and more as we go.
This has been a production of Cross and Sword Ministries. Our mission is to bring freedom to people through the studying of the Word and pursuing an ever-growing relationship with Jesus. For more information, or to be part of our ministry, visit crossandswordministries.com.